This is DevOps in Agile Way podcast.
Hello everyone, welcome back after I think 1 month of break, and it was not expected by me, that's why I didn't say anything in the last episode. Anyway, a lot of things is going on my side. Probably for at least part of this year I will switch to 2 weeks cadence with my podcast. The reason for it is I don't want to make this kind of strange breaks, unexpected breaks even for me, because something else is around which I need to attend. From the news and the perspective of my engagements, the news is that I become one of the co-organizers of CNCF chapter in Krakow for the meetup group. Let's speak simply. In CNCF it is called chapter. There is a quite interesting story behind this related to changes on the CNCF side, blah, blah, blah. But nevertheless, on the end of the day, we had an agreement with existing chapter lead, and together we will try to make this chapter even better, if this is possible at all, because the chapter is great already. For the OpenTofu side, which you already know that I'm involved into this a little at least, we opened our application to CNCF using my hands, so I'm really happy to be owner of the most important issue created. Of course, I'm kidding. It's the great job of the whole team behind OpenTofu. What I've done, I just click enter. So we are waiting for the decision, and there will be an OpenTofu day during the incoming KubeCon Europe in Paris. So if you are interested in OpenTofu, please take a look on the agenda, and maybe there is a place for you to be there as well and listen what people have to say. We, as a Spacelift, we had webinar about OpenTofu just around 2 weeks ago, something like that. There is also a lot of stuff in this webinar about OpenTofu, so if you are interested, go to LinkedIn, find the Spacelift page, and there will be the webinar. You can go also to my personal page, and there is a link as well. Okay, so to not have this episode that boring on the beginning, just I'm saying what I did and what I will do, let's jump into one topic which I found quite interesting. The CIO.com page published some article about the most 15 roles in demand for the 2024. And there is also the aspect of how to hire them, but it's not important for me now. I want to just jump into specific elements of this list. So for this 15 most in-demand tech jobs, we have a couple of areas, right? Interestingly, in the first 5, we have 3 management positions. That's crazy, honestly speaking. So on the first place, we have System Security Manager. Then on the 4th, we have IT Director. And 5th is ERP Integration Manager. The last 2 positions there are architect positions. Network/Cloud Architect and Application Architect. The first, a doing person job, is Big Data Engineer, which is 6th. Then we have Data Security Analyst, Data Scientists, and finally DevOps Engineer. You already know that I hate this name. But this list also contains developers, and we have also the support manager, not support person, support manager. I have some, thoughts in my mind about this. So first of all, why so many managers? Honestly speaking, I have no idea, but what I saw in my quite long career is that very often organizations try to promote people to managers without really their will. The reason why these people are promoted to managers is because there is no more engineering positions for them, and the managers, the organization leads, want to somehow make the recognition for those people. And the most obvious, most easy and most wrong, honestly, way of doing it is to promote those people to manager positions. Very often, the person who is promoted to a manager position really doesn't want to be promoted to managerial position. Because, first of all, the reason in mind what you can have like against this, like personal reasons against being promoted to a manager is that, first of all, I don't want to be manager. I want to do my job as a developer, as a DevOps, as a network engineer, as a cloud engineer. It doesn't matter. Okay? Second of all, the problem with managerial positions is quite simple, yet I don't know why quite often not understood correctly. If you scale your team, right? Let's imagine the situation. You have a team of 5 people, okay? 5, let's say, network engineers. Then you have one manager for this team. And that's obvious. The person on this position should be able to manage the team of 5. But our engagement, our work is increasing, and we hire another 10 people. So right now we have 15 people in the team, and still one manager, and probably only one HR person assigned to this team. So the workload is already 3 times bigger, and this manager needs to spend much more time right now because we scale the team. We didn't scale the management of the team. And imagine the situation that if you do one-on-ones with your team, why one-on-ones are so important, we will talk about this in one of the next episode, or maybe even on my second podcast. Generally, the thing is that we have to do one-on-ones as our managers. Believe me, we have to. And imagine that you spend on each one-on-one half an hour. And you are so good in this that you are able to manage your preparation and then the thoughts after one-on-one in another half an hour. So 15 minutes for preparation too, and 15 minutes to note everything down, etc., etc., etc. So it is 1 hour for every person. If you have 5 people in your team, it means it is 5 hours. This means that you need to scale also the management. And this is something what I think many companies start to learn recently. That scaling of the team means also scaling of the management, scaling of the all, don't get me wrong, but supportive jobs here. And as a supportive, I mean also HR, but as I said, don't get me wrong, HR is very important, but here it is like a supportive for the manager of the team, right? So you need to hire at least one another manager and probably one another HR person. And this is going forward and going up with this scenario if your company is growing. Adding more people to the team, simply speaking, means also adding more people somewhere else. That's why, as I understand, that's why we see in this report or this list so many managerial positions, because we started to realize that. And there is another aspect of it. Because very often, as I mentioned this already, that people don't want to be promoted to be managers. And very often people, maybe not very often, but sometimes, let's be optimistic here. Sometimes people shouldn't be promoted to be managers because they have no proper character to be a manager. And very often people are pushed for this position because this is the only one way to promote and have, bigger salary. This is the main reason of everything here. Is there any scenario, if you are experienced, you are a seasoned engineer, right, with many years of experience, and by the way, I really do not believe in managers after 2 years of experience, like really work experience. There are examples where this may work. Obviously, I know people like that they are great managers after a very short period of real experience on the field. But I believe it is more possible to win the lottery than find that kind of person. I didn't win the lottery even, but I saw that kind of guy. So probably my luck is wandering somewhere else than it should be. But anyway, do we have any kind of positions which can be proposed experienced people? Yes, we have. right? We have like semi-managerial positions. Let's call it this way. It can be technical lead or person who is technically so good that can lead the project, lead the work from the technical perspective, but not be drawn into managerial stuff. For example, we had position called chief, right? So I was on the level of the lead, so junior, regular, senior, lead, and there was also the chief position, so someone who is like great expert in the area but not necessarily ready or willing to be a manager. There are also positions like architectural, right? Software architect, cloud architect, network architect. A lot of architects are there, but let's say all of them are kind of solution or enterprise architects. But again, here we have strong focus on the technical aspects, but also strong focus of this like very soft aspects, human aspects, human kind of relations between you, your team, your company, your managers, client's company, client's engineers, client's managers. And it is also not easy position, and also not the position which allows you to do a lot of handwork. And this is very often the biggest problem for people who are promoted to this like a higher levels, right? They stop being technical, they need to do something else. They cannot just spend their 8 hours or more or less, doesn't matter, of their time coding. This is their life, this is their hobby, this is the ideal world where they want to be. That's why, for me, it is quite interesting, this report, because it shows me, first of all, that we have gaps in this managerial path, let's say this way. In these 15 positions, we have, just to count it again, 1, 2, 3, 4 managers. A lot, I would say. I don't have any, solution how to fix this, how to make sure that managers are good and managers are taken from people who are really have the skill set, have the even ability, not only the skill set, but the ability to be a good manager. Anyway, it's interesting to see something like that. I'm really happy that I'm coming back with this a little bit chaotic, I think, but still good episode, I think, to think. With the idea, the main topic through this episode, which is quite interesting to think what's going on in our, not only in our market, really, in our industry, but all industries around. So thank you very much. See you next time, probably in 2 weeks, and have a good time. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of DevOps in Agile Way podcast with your host, Pavel Pivash. Subscribe, comment, and do not forget to check our next episodes. Stay tuned. Stay safe. Stay curious.